Before we get started, a quick disclaimer. The information shared is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing discussed in this episode should be considered legal, tax and accounting, or financial advice, nor does it create attorney-client, accountant-client, or an advisory relationship. Every situation is different, and you should consult a qualified professional who understands your specific circumstances before making decisions. Our goal here is to help entrepreneurs think more clearly, ask better questions, and build stronger businesses, not to replace professional counsel. Thank you, and now to the episode.
Before we get into it, what you are watching is my avatar. I am JuJuan Buford Sr. I am out in the field working with entrepreneurs to launch, grow, and scale, and helping more people step into the ownership society. Everything you are about to hear comes directly from my experience, my knowledge, and the real situations I have witnessed. Now let us get into it. Let me ask you something. If your business partner died tonight, who inherits their ownership stake? Take a second. Think about that. Not who you want to inherit it, not who you discussed it over lunch 2 years ago. Who inherits it legally right now based on your documents? If you do not have a clean answer, this video is for you. I am JuJuan Buford, Senior Managing Partner of JSB Business Solutions Group. I have spent over 20 years in banking, mortgage lending, investment advising. I have watched that question destroy businesses, not because the market turned, but because the paperwork was wrong or missing entirely. I am not teaching this from a textbook. I lived adjacent to it for over a decade as a professional. Right now, I am getting my own house in order, building a new life with my partner, making sure everything I build is protected. Stay with me. What I am about to share could save your business, your family, and everything you have built. Let us start with the basics, because most entrepreneurs misunderstand what bylaws actually cover. Corporate bylaws, or an operating agreement for an LLC, are your governance document. They are the rule book. They define who makes decisions, how votes are counted, how profits are distributed, what happens when partners disagree. That is important. But here's the boundary. Bylaws govern the living. They govern while everyone is present and functional. The moment one of you is not, because of death, disability, or divorce, bylaws reach the edge of their authority. Things fall apart in that gap. During my 8 years as an investment advisor, I encountered this at least once a month, not occasionally, once a month. Owners who built real revenue and teams, losing everything not to competition, but to the absence of the right legal documents. So let us talk about the 6 most common and costly mistakes partners make when setting up governance documents. Mistake number 1, using a generic template. You go online, download a free agreement, sign it, and file it away. That document looks official. It is not protection. It contains none of the business-specific provisions that actually govern your situation. Mistake number 2, no buy-sell agreement or exit provisions. Bylaws tell you how to work together, not what happens when someone wants out. Without a buy-sell, you have no legal mechanism to control who acquires that ownership interest. It leaves the door open for disaster. Mistake number 3, no disability or incapacity clause. Very few address what happens if a partner is physically or mentally unable to work. No clause for incapacity means the business can be frozen, unable to act, while the legal system works out what to do with a stake in limbo. You drafted it at $80,000 revenue. Now you are at $800,000. Outdated documents do not protect the business you have today. They protect a business that no longer exists. Mistake number 5, no valuation methodology. When a partner exits with no formula, that question becomes a legal battle. Both sides hire attorneys and argue. A simple pre-agreed valuation formula eliminates that entire category of conflict. Mistake number 6, silence on decision-making authority. Equal partnerships become paralyzed when partners disagree. Without defining unanimous versus independent consent, a single major disagreement can stop the entire business from functioning. None of these are uncommon. All are fixable. The question is whether you fix them before or after a crisis makes the conversation too late. I want to share a real situation from my advisor years. It illustrates what happens when bylaws exist but estate planning does not. I worked with a woman whose husband passed after a prolonged illness. They had built car dealerships, real estate, and a restaurant. When he died, she was already carrying more than most people are built to hold. And then the legal reality arrived. He had not updated his beneficiary designations. Ex-wife and children from a prior relationship were still on the paperwork. They contested everything, the dealerships, the real estate. My client was already managing his ailing mother's care. She was overwhelmed. The businesses dissolved, not because they failed, but because the legal infrastructure to protect them was never built. Here is what would have changed it. First, updated beneficiary designations. They override any will and transfer assets directly. Second, a revocable living trust holding the business interests. It would have transferred ownership directly to her, bypassing probate entirely. Third, a properly funded buy-sell agreement. It would have defined exactly how ownership transferred and at what value. Fourth, life insurance directed to fund that buy-sell. She would have had the liquidity to purchase any interest before it became a weapon. The second situation is different. No death. The threat came from a partner who simply decided to stop showing up. Two best friends launched a learning center. It was working. Then one partner contracted COVID and decided not to come back. She stopped fulfilling responsibilities but did not stop collecting income. She used revenue to fund a separate home business. I asked the operating partner, did you have an agreement? No. Defined roles? No. SOPs? No. Exit plan? No. No to every question. She had to blow up the business and rebuild. She took a job she hated for 2 years just to stay stable while rebuilding, a price entirely avoidable. Here is what should have been there. A partnership agreement with defined roles and a clause stating what constitutes a material breach. A leave of absence provision and financial controls. No single partner should authorize distributions without documented accountability. I want to be direct with you. I am not teaching this because it is interesting. I am in the middle of it personally. I came out of a divorce. I have a blended family. I run multiple business entities. Getting this infrastructure right is an active process. Estate planning covers what bylaws do not. A will directing your business stake, a durable power of attorney for incapacity, a healthcare directive, a revocable living trust that holds your interest and bypasses probate. It transfers privately and quickly without court involvement. These work together with your bylaws. Bylaws govern the business. Estate planning governs the people behind it. Before the action steps, I want to flag one more area most growth mode partnerships never address: tax strategy. Your structure determines tax advantages. LLC, S Corp, C Corp. Each carries different opportunities. Most owners never revisit this as they scale. Step up in basis can reduce capital gains tax for heirs. QBI deductions and expense strategy are difference makers for building wealth. Here is what I want you to walk away with today. 8 steps, not aspirational, baseline. Step 1, have bylaws reviewed by an attorney. Step 2, draft or update a buy-sell agreement defining triggering events. Step 3, update beneficiary designations. Step 4, execute individual estate documents. At minimum, a will and power of attorney. Step 5, evaluate insurance to fund your buy-sell. Step 6, build documented SOPs for financial controls as legal protection. Step 7, consult about entity structure. Step 8, set an annual date to review all governance and estate documents. Businesses I watched dissolve were brought down by deferred planning. The outcomes I shared were not inevitable. They were correctable gaps. You are building something. Make sure the foundation holds. I put together a free 1-page self-audit to help you assess where you stand. The link is in the description. Download it. If it surfaces gaps, visit JSBBSG.com to learn about affordable solutions. Let us build taller buildings together. Before you go, check the description of this video. The full article and free audit are right there. Knowledge without application does not protect anyone. Ownership is about building something that lasts. I am JuJuan Buford Sr. I will see you in the field. Let us build taller buildings together.